Dear learners, this is Shashi Ramachandran. I'm here with the next topic, goodwill, nature and its valuation. In this video, we are going to learn the meaning of goodwill, the factors affecting the goodwill, methods of calculating goodwill, and under method, we will be doing the one method, that is average profit method. Again, in this, there are two: simple average profit method and weighted average profit method. Now, coming to the meaning of goodwill, goodwill means the good name of the business, the reputation of the business, which brings or attracts more customers to the business, and also it helps to retain the old customers. This goodwill is an intangible asset. It cannot be seen, but it can be felt. So, a firm earning more profit as compared to the other firm in that industry is because of goodwill. This is what it is assumed. So goodwill is valued because whenever there is a change in a partnership, maybe it's a change in a profit sharing ratio, or admission of a new partner, or retirement of a existing partner, or we can say the amalgamation of a partnership firm, or these are the cases when the goodwill is to be valued. Fine. And now in case of a sole proprietorship, we can say that when there is a sale of the business, then they need to value their goodwill because it has to be paid for. Now coming to the next, that the factors which affects the goodwill. Now the first factor we are going to understand is nature of business. Now the firm with a constant sales has more chances of earning profits, and naturally goodwill of the firm will also increase. So we can say that a firm that deals with a quality product, or say good quality product, or a stable demand for its product, they can earn more profit, and more profit leads to higher goodwill. Then there is another factor which affects the goodwill, that is location. So business, we can say here, like if the firm is located at at a central place, that also affects our goodwill. Okay, because a prominent place or a central place, if a business is located, then it attracts more customers, resulting increase in the turnover, increase in the profit. Okay, so location is also one of the point which affects goodwill. Moving to the third point, the third point says that the efficiency of the management. Now efficient management may also help us to increase the value of goodwill by you can say increasing the profits. How it is so? Like through proper planned production, distribution, and the services. So an efficient manager basically helps to for with the high productivity and we can say the less cost. Okay, so a good management also help us to bring more goodwill to the business. Moving to the fourth point here, the fourth point says that market situation. Now, how the market situation is, the organization has a monopoly right, or or condition in the market, or having a limited competition. Okay, that also enables a firm to earn more profit. Monopoly, having more more demand in the market, or having a limited competition, that automatically brings gives them a place in the market, and it actually helps to increase the goodwill. Now the next point is, as a fifth point, it says that special advantage. Now the business having a special advantage of rare raw material which is available or accessible by one of the business, again is a special advantage for the business, and that brings more turnover, more profit, and higher goodwill. The brand name, or you can say the branded products with the trademarks which are registered with the registrar of patents and trademarks. Okay, patent rights, copyrights, these are the special advantages which brings a goodwill to the business. Now moving ahead, the goodwill can be classified into two: purchase goodwill and a self generated goodwill. Now, purchase goodwill, as the name says, the goodwill which is purchased by making some payment. Okay, these goodwills are recorded. This goodwill is recorded in the books of account. This is the goodwill when which we buy when we are buying a business. We can say that when the business is bought, taken over, then in that case whatever excess amount is paid, that is because of the goodwill. Okay, this goodwill is recorded, as I said, it is recorded in the books of account, it is recorded in the balance sheet as an asset, and it is amortized, it is depreciated during its lifetime. Okay, on the other hand, self generated goodwill is one which is internally generated, or you can say it is a inherent goodwill. This is nothing is paid for this goodwill. Okay, it is generated over the period of time, and again a true value cannot be uh, calculated or for this particular goodwill. So this goodwill is valued on the basis of the past profits, or on the basis of like super profit, some excess profit which a particular firm is earning, and being in that industry it's earning then more than the normal profit. So this there are these different bases to value this goodwill. It is assumed goodwill, it is not, there is nothing paid for this goodwill. And now accounting standard 26 says that intangible assets prescribe that goodwill should not be accounted in the books of accounts unless consideration is paid for it. That means purchase goodwill is recorded in the books of account. On the other hand, self generated goodwill is not recorded in the books of account because no payment has been done for the same. So it's very clear that why self generated is not recorded, self generated goodwill is not recorded in the business, because it is not account because its value is subjective and is not evidenced by payment. So there is no payment at all, so amount does not exchange hand. So we can say this type of goodwill is not recorded in the books of account. Okay, then why there is a need of valuing such goodwill, self generated goodwill? Only, as I said, in case of a reconstitution of a business. Now there are different methods to evaluate to calculate the goodwill. Here there is like average profit method, super profit method, capitalization method. Under average profit method, we have two, simple average and a weighted average. Super profit is one, and then capitalization again we have two, capitalization of average profit, capitalization of super profit. Now average profit is a simple method. It's a simple method because, and it's widely followed method of valuation of goodwill, because in this only thing is that we find out the average profit and then we multiply it by the agreed number of years. So let's have a look. Average profit method, the first one, simple average profit method, says that average profit is equal to total operating profit. So when I talk about total operating profit, so total operating profit is a one which is like the profit. Here we can see total operating profits. This is the adjusted profit of past years, last year's profit after deducting any, in case there is a loss, that is to be deducted. And when we talk about operating profits, net profit plus non-operating or abnormal losses. See, abnormal losses are the one which are not non-recurring in nature. They are not recurring in nature. They are not directly related with the business. So these losses, if they are deducted, we are going to add it back. Same way, abnormal income, which are these are the income which are not recurring in nature, they are not the main income, business income, so they also are to be deducted because that is not a part of the normal profits. Clear? Okay, so we can say now the point here is why to take this average profit, because see it's very clear that businessman, he wants to know, that he wants to estimate the future profit, and the best way to estimate the future profit is to see the past profits, to see the average performance of the business in the past. Okay, so past profit indicates that what profits are likely to accrue in the future. What we are going to have in the future depends on the past performance, and it's always good that we should take the close one only. Fine. So here, the finally once we calculate the average profit, it is multiplied by number of year purchase. So number of year purchase here means the number of years for which the firm is likely to earn same amount of profit after the change of ownership. So whenever whatever the changes are there in the business, they are going to earn the same profit in next 2 years, 3 years. Okay, so this is what called as a number of years purchase. Now the same average profit method can be used by uh, like taking this weight of each and every profits. Now weighted average profit is another method under this average profit method. Now the weight, basically this is a modified version of average profit method, and as per this method we can say that each year's profit is assigned a weight. Okay, the weightage of a profit, the highest weightage is generally given to the profit of the most recent year, means we can say the last year profits are given higher weightage, and the reason is very clear because they are very close to the current one. Okay, and like we can say the profit again are given all the profits with their weights. So here what we have to calculate here is total weighted profit we need to calculate by multiplying the profit of each year with its weight, and this total weighted profit we are going to divide it by total weights. So the weightage is of each and every year is given to us, and we are going to multiply it with the profit to find out total weighted profits, and then we are going to divide the total of all the weights here to find out weighted average profit. And for the goodwill, this weighted average profit is to be multiplied by number of years purchase. Okay, let's do some problems related to these two methods. So my first question is, the following were the profit and loss of a firm for the last 6 years. These are the profits given 2012 to 2017, and what we have, like every profit has something like abnormal gain or losses. So you can see 2012 2,50,000, which includes the abnormal gain. So this abnormal gain is not to be taken into consideration. So we are going to deduct it. Same way in others. So here you can say excluding 20,000 payable on insurance of plant. Now insurance of plant is a normal expense which is supposed to be taken into consideration, which they have excluded. So this we are going to take into consideration. So starting with this, we'll calculate the average profit, because the question says that you have to find out with the help of average profit and where the number of years purchases to you. Okay, so calculate adjusted profit as a first thing, and of course we are going to calculate the average on based on that only. So 2012, the profit is 2,50,000, which includes the abnormal gain. So what we are going to do, we are going to deduct this amount. Now 2013, the position is 2 lakh is a profit, which includes after charging abnormal losses. So loss we are going to add it back, because abnormal loss and gain are not to be taken into consideration. So 3,25,000 is a profit for 2014, but this says that 20,000 is payable on insurance plan, which is excluded. So we need to consider that. So these are the expenses for the year which we are going to now deduct. 2015, there is a profit of 1 lakh, which includes the profit on sale of land, which is an abnormal gain, which we are going to deduct. Okay, so you can see we are reversing the treatment which is not required. 2016, there is 80,000 of profit, again no abnormal loss or gain, nothing to be adjusted. Here it's a loss of 60,000, so I'm going to write it in brackets. So we'll find out the final figure here by deducting and adding the numbers. So what we have here is 2,20,000, 2,40,000, and this gives me 3,05,000. So here it is 30,000. This remains same 80,000, and this is a loss of 60,000. So adding the 5 years profit and deducting this loss 60,000, what I have here is 8,15,000. Okay, now this is the total what I have. So let's take out the average profit here. So average profit is equal to, what is the formula for that? That is a total profit, or we can say adjusted profit, divided by number of years purchase. Fine. So here we can say our total profit is, let me change the pen here and show you. Okay, so here what we have, 8,15,000 divided by 6, which gives me 1,35,833. Okay, the next step to find out the goodwill. Now here the goodwill says that it is average profit multiplied by number of years purchase. Okay, so number of year purchase. So here average profit I have already calculated, and I'm taking number of year purchase as 2 as it is given in the question. So I'm going to take it that. So final answer is 2,71,666. So this is my final answer by this average profit method. Let's move to the second question here. Okay, now the second question says that Raman and Daman are partners, sharing profits in the ratio of 60 is to 40. This is their profit sharing ratio. What it says, the last 4 years they have been getting a salaries of 50,000, 40,000. The annual account have shown the following net profit before charging partners salaries. So these are the profits for the year, and they have not charged the salaries. Salaries again are the normal expenses. They are supposed to be charged. 1st April 2020, Zeno is admitted to the partnership for 1/4 share, and goodwill is to be valued at a 4 years purchase of a weighted average profit method of last 3 years after partner salaries. So here the partner salaries are not considered. So it says the profits are to be taken after partner salary. So we are going to deduct partner salary from each profits, and the weights are given as 1 is to 2 is to 3. The greatest weight being given to the last year. So this last year weight will be the highest one. Okay. So now I'm going to again draw that calculation table. So here it is calculation of adjusted profits. So I'm going to write different years, which is as 2018, 2019 and 2020. So I have a profit of 1,40,000, then 1,01,000, then it goes 1,30,000. Okay, writing it here rupees. Now as I said, the salaries are not considered. So first step is we are going to consider these salaries. Now the salaries are 50 and 40. That means 90,000 every year going to deduct. So what profit now I have? I have a profit of 50,000, and this comes to 11,000, and here I have 40,000. So I have these profits. Since it's a weighted average profit method I'm going to use, so these are the profits. Basically we can take out the average here if we are using simple average profit method. Now we are using weighted average, so we have to multiply with the weight. Now the weight, if we see, it's 1, 2 and 3, and highest weightage is for the recent one. So these are the weight, and now I'm going to multiply to find out my total profit, weighted profit. So it is 50,000. These are in rupees, and then I have 22,000. Then it goes as 1,20,000, and finally I'll take out the total here. And also I need a total of this, because in for finding out the weighted average I have to divide it by weight, total weight. Now the formula says average weighted profit or weighted average profit is equal to 1,92,000 divided by total weight, which comes to 32,000. So this is my weighted average profit. Now what I'm going to find out, goodwill, where the formula says weighted average profit multiplied by number of years purchase. Fine. So what we have, 32,000, and the number of year purchase is given as to be valued at 4 years purchase. So I'm going to take here 4. So this brings me to the answer 1,28,000. So this is your answer. So these two questions you were related with average profit method. So we did the average profit method in this video. We'll continue other two methods in next video. So now you recap what we learned in this video. So hope you like this video. Share this video with your friends and do subscribe to my channel Exuberant Learners. Also click on the bell icon to get the latest updates on my channel. Thank you.